Hello friends, and welcome back to another video. If you are someone who knows me well, you'll know that I am able to cry for anything, for any reason. If I'm happy, if I'm sad, if I'm angry, if someone yells at me, I can cry at anything. And one thing I can also cry at is video games. So today, I want to tell you about some of my favorite games that have made me cry, because that sounds really fun. These are also some of my favorite games in general. I don't know what that says about me, but let's get started. Also, I will try to avoid spoilers for this video, so everything is going to be okay. The first game on my list of games that make me cry will not be a surprise to anybody who has ever watched a stream or video of mine, and that is Spiritfarer. I feel like I talk about this game every single day to every single person I speak to, because Spiritfarer, honestly, to me might be one of the best games I've ever played in my entire life. It is so beautiful. The soundtrack is perfect. The art style is perfect. The colors are perfect. Everything about it is incredible, and the story of it is one of the most heartbreaking things I've ever experienced in my entire life. In Spiritfarer, you play as Stella and her cat Daffodil. You are the Spiritfarer. You help spirits who come onto your boat and take care of them until they're ready to be released into the afterlife. I've made a whole video about Spiritfarer and the whole story of every single character. That video is full of spoilers, so don't watch it yet if you want to play the game, but if you've played the game and you're interested in hearing every single detail I could personally find about this game, go over there. But I love Spiritfarer so much. It is, I think, a really beautiful way of dealing with death and grief, because obviously that's a very hard and difficult topic. There's so many different characters in Spiritfarer. I think for everybody there will be someone in there who's gonna hit really close to home, or at least make you feel like extra attached to them. You're gonna start playing this game and it's gonna put its claws in you, and you're never gonna want to stop playing until you're done with it. I think I played this game and no other games on stream until I finished the game. I had a really hard time thinking of anything else. I'm pretty sure I was listening to the soundtrack whenever I wasn't playing. The soundtrack, by the way, also still makes me want to cry. Every single time a song starts playing that I'm like, wait, this is from Spiritfarer, I feel I'm gonna get tears in my eyes. But I also want to say, this game is not just heartbreaking. You're not gonna cry for 25 hours straight as you're playing through this game. It's very silly at the same time as well. You're getting to know these characters. They're also very fun and full of personality, and they're not just talking about their horrible ways that they've died, they're also talking about the things they enjoy, and you're like getting to give them their favorite foods. And there's so much fun, silly stuff about this game, and you're doing a lot of exploring and a lot of management type stuff on the boat that you're on. There's a lot of silly things to it, and then you gotta go to the Everdoor, which is the place where the spirits will go into the afterlife, and they'll give you a little goodbye conversation. This is the moment where you're just gonna uncontrollably sob for a few minutes. Then you're gonna wipe your tears, you're gonna continue the game, you're not gonna cry for a while, and the cycle continues. Every single time you have to return to that Everdoor, you're just gonna have to prepare yourself with some tissues, and that's okay. I think this game has a good balance of not being so genuinely heartbreaking that you cannot keep playing, because I feel like a game that deals with as much death and sadness as this game, it's very easy for it to be like, this is overwhelmingly sad and I don't want to keep playing. I don't think that this game felt like this at all to me. There were so many characters in this game where I was like so genuinely heartbroken at the end of their stories, but it never turned me away from wanting to continue. Also, I'm just thinking about this now, but every time you go to the Everdoor, later in the game, you'll usually want to fast travel out of there. And every time you fast travel, there's this seal that just has the most insane music playing every time. It's a good, like, silly moment to get you out of getting really stuck in your sadness for a long time. I just think that this game is a masterpiece, and everybody who worked on it, I love you so much. If I could play any game again with my memory of it completely erased, it would be this one. I would love to experience this again for the first time ever. I just think it's so beautiful, and you can give everybody hugs. Please play Spiritfarer. The next game I want to talk about is Life is Strange. I think this is a game everybody knows as a game that's gonna make you cry. I felt like I couldn't leave them out of a video like this because I played the first game again recently, and oh my god, I think the first time I didn't cry that much because I played it for the first time on stream. I have a tendency to get really distracted while I'm streaming. I played it by myself off stream, and oh my god, I think I cried multiple times every single episode. Life is Strange is such a good game. If you don't know it, the idea of Life is Strange is kind of that the main character that you play as finds out that they have a superpower following a traumatic event. In the first game, it follows Max, who learns that she can rewind time after she watches her childhood best friend Chloe get shot, and she spends like a whole week trying to fix everything that's happening. And oh my god, these games are insane. The story of them is so good. I think the characters in these games are just incredible, and I love them so much, and I'm really like attached to them. And Life is Strange just came out with Life is Strange Reunion, where Max and Chloe are finally together again after being apart for like, I don't know, 10-15 years. I've really been enjoying Life is Strange recently. These games are so good, and I would recommend anybody to play them. I do recommend, if you haven't ever played these games, to look up the trigger warnings because they can be a little intense. One episode specifically that makes me cry that I feel like kind of gets forgotten about is the bonus episode from Before the Storm. There's a bonus episode with Max and Chloe, but when they're like 13 years old. Most of the episode is kind of just them like hanging out and being friends, and it's kind of silly, but the ending of it is so genuinely heartbreaking. It's so good. If you've never played the bonus episode, you absolutely should. It feels really wholesome the whole time until like the very end. I love the Life is Strange games. My first Life is Strange game that I watched was True Colors, which in that game you're playing from the point of view of Alex, who her superpower is, I don't know how to explain this very well because her superpower is that she has like extreme empathy, which sounds kind of crazy, but in a way it kind of lets her read the minds of people and like take people's emotions. And obviously because of that, the game is very emotional. I think that game is so beautiful. I loved it so much. I also think another thing that Life is Strange does really well is they have a lot of really good queer characters, which I always obviously really appreciate. I think having like a female protagonist and then having the female protagonist also be a queer person, I think is really cool. I love the Life is Strange games. I think they're so like interesting. I always find that at the end of the episodes, it like shows you these are the choices you made and this is what everybody else did. And sometimes I'll find out like, oh, this thing that happened didn't need to happen, which is also in its own way really heartbreaking because sometimes you don't realize like, oh, I could have literally saved a life and I didn't know that I could have done that. These kinds of games are so cool. I love just looking at them. I think when I was playing Reunion, if you watch the VODs back, I'm literally just going, this is so beautiful. This is so good. Everything looks so nice. Oh my god, the lighting is so good. So the vibes of these games are like absolutely incredible. The soundtracks of these games are really good. If you somehow haven't played them, please do. They're really, really worth playing. And also, I always thought I would never replay any of these games, but the second I finished Reunion, I was like, well, now I need to play it again and make different choices because I need to see what else can happen to the story. The last game on my list is a beautiful cat game called Stray. In this game, you play as a little orange kitty. You get lost in this like cyber city and you have to escape it to be able to go back to your friends and go home. And in the meantime, you also help the little robot people who live in this city to free them and help solve their problems. And it's just so cool. As a lover of cats and animals in general, I feel like I was set up to fail going into this being like, no, we're not gonna cry. It's gonna be fine. This is not a crying game, except when you read the Steam description, it literally starts with lost, alone, and separated from family, a stray cat must untangle an ancient mystery. And I'm like, what do you mean? I'm lost, alone, and separated from my family. And then you start playing the game, and the literal first scene of the game is you getting separated from all of your cat friends. And that alone, I was like, oh my god, this is heartbreaking. It's just a little guy. And now he's fallen and he can't get back to his friends. Stray is absolutely beautiful. And unfortunately, you do need quite a good PC to be able to run it. But oh my god, Stray is so beautiful. I will say, other than it making me cry, this game also kind of very stressful for me, because this game, without realizing, requires a lot of skill of like running and jumping because there's a lot of times where you get chased by these disgusting creatures. They're so gross and they just, oh my god, disgusting. Anyway, it requires a lot of skill, which I don't have, and I immediately start panicking because I'm like, oh my god, I'm being chased. So be ready to be stressed, to be angry at these creatures, but also be ready for an absolutely beautiful game. I think the lighting in this game, it's kind of like dark and moody, and it looks so good. It's also got some silly moments because obviously you're a cat. You can just walk around and knock shit off shelves. There's a lot of like messing around that you're doing. This game is just really fun. I really enjoyed it. The beginning and the ending both made me cry, probably equal amounts. I don't want to talk about the ending because obviously I don't want to spoil it for you, but the ending is so, ooh. I will just describe it as beautiful. All of these games to me are masterpieces. I think any game that's able to make me cry is automatically a winner. Obviously, making me cry is not very difficult, but at the same time, making me cry because something is genuinely so like beautiful and well made and thought out, and they've put a lot of effort into making you feel attached to the characters you're playing. I think that's really special, and I love these games so much. Anyway, if you have any good crying game recommendations, please let me know. I would love to hear about them. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you. Thank you for sticking with me through the many changes of my channel. I appreciate you, and I will see you guys in the next one.